Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Lexus of Clearwater, and guess what? I have that one larger mid-size crossover SUV that promises to bring luxury, but also with a sporty edge. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2026 Lexus TX 350. I'm not even done yet. F-Sport with the handling package. But before we get into this bright white mid-size SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So obviously, parent company Toyota, because Lexus is the premium brand of Toyota, they launched the Grand Highlander. And the Grand Highlander was totally different than the standard Highlander. That's what opened up the door for the TX. So essentially it sits on the same platform as the Grand Highlander, but because it is a Lexus, you're getting everything turned up a notch when it comes to luxury, technology, and of course that driving experience. Now, when you're looking for a midsize, a lot of midsize SUVs just don't have as much room as everybody needs and hopes that it's gonna have. But I think we're gonna find that the TX is a little bit of a game changer. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Lexus TX 350 F-Sport handling package and find out, is it that luxury midsize SUV that you must own? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, it's one of Latte Lori's favorite colors. It's called Wind Chill Pearl, and it really pops nicely on this TX. Now, as we get up to the front end of the business, right off the bat, you'll notice LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, LED headlights. They black out the whole interior of the housing. You drop down to ground level, and because this is the F-Sport, you're gonna get those black accents. So nestled in there, we have an LED fog lamp, and you have a second corner light down below. So nice to see proper placement of exterior lighting without it just being something stuck on. With the Wind Chill Pearl, you notice all that diamond-like metal flake. It really works well with the F-Sport because of the black accents. And you do get a little bit of flat metallic silver along the bottom mustache, like that lower mustache area. But let me know what you think so far about this TX. Now, as we come across, they say it's the body spindle grille. So you'll notice instead of having a big black grille, what we have is the actual body that is colored Wind Chill Pearl with some of that aluminum style looking trim. You do have functionality up top, which is great, forward facing camera, and then you have these black accents within the body, hence the name body spindle grille design. It's still that trapezoid style shape that Lexus is known for. Down below, you do have the gloss black functional with that flat metallic silver along the lower lip. But let me know what you think about the face of this 2026 Lexus TX 350. Now, as we rise up, love the way they did a black Lexus badge on the front nose. Hood has a nice rise, and everything else super clean. As we come around the bend, this is one of my personal favorites. Lori likes the color. I love the wheels. You're gonna get these satin black with gloss black wheels. A nice combo deal here. Even the way they did the Lexus badge in that gray color really makes it pop nicely. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? 22-inch wheel. You'll notice the 6-piston calipers in that powder-coated black from behind. And then with the F-Sport, especially the handling, they're going to fine-tune the suspension specifically for this model and also the chassis dynamics. So you're getting a little bit of that increase in sporty feel and driving experience. You'll also notice that these rotors are 2-piece rotors. And the way you can tell, I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around behind here and show you that they're 2-piece rotors because they're bolted to the aluminum hat. That helps cut down on heat buildup. And yes, that's on an SUV, so nice to see that. But let me know what you think about the wheels with this color. Tire size is gonna be 255 on the width, 45 series on the sidewall, and I love the way everything is Wind Chill Pearl on the side. Now coming down the rest of the vehicle, you do have your F-Sport badge prominently displayed. Gloss black on your mirror caps, but you do have your 360-degree cameras and LED turn signals. From the side, this is not a full size. If you want a full size, you got to go bigger. They got the GX, which is larger. They got the LX, which is even larger than that. On the F-Sport, you have the gloss black roof rails, nice and close to the roof line, so you're not going to get a bunch of wind noise. Dark chrome finish along the top of the window frame openings, and then you'll notice that you don't get a handle like you pull on a traditional car. You push the button, and that's what opens up the door. But I like the way they do the gloss with the body color, and then the same thing, just wind chill pearl everywhere down the side of the vehicle. Now coming towards the rear, one of the giveaways that you're going to get a lot of room in the third row is this large quarter glass. And the way that they took the black here and blended it in, it almost looks like it's seamless. Now, as we swing it around the back, the one thing that just bothers the hell out of me is this. Gotta zonk the rear wiper. Rear wiper would go beautifully right underneath here. You got your blacked out Lexus badge. Everything is spelled out now. TX 350, obviously all-wheel drive. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, is this a rear-wheel drive base? No, this is front-wheel drive base. Normally, a TX is front-wheel drive, but then you can get the all-wheel drive. This has, as you can see, the all-wheel drive, so it sends power to the rear wheels when needed. Now, as we work our way down to ground level, I like the way they work the lower bumper area. Gives it a sporty style with the simulated rear diffuser. I just wish that they had some type of exhaust finisher. That would have just kind of give it that little extra sporty attitude to go with the larger brakes, the all-wheel drive, and then they did the same thing like on the nose. A little bit of gloss black, a little bit of the metallic silver, and then the white. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this particular TX. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. The real controversy that still exists is, guess what? This TX, this particular one, doesn't have a V6. Underneath the hood, you'll notice right off the bat from that tasteful engine cover, the word turbo. No, it's not a turbocharged V6, if that's what you were hoping for. What we have is that 2.4 liter turbocharged inline four, 275 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to an 8-speed automatic. 0 to 60 with the all-wheel drive in about 7.4 seconds. Top speed is governed to 124 miles an hour. MPGs, 21 in the city, 27 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs right around 4,427 pounds. The great news is, with this new TX, you could tow up to 5,000 pounds. So even though it does have the smaller displacement engine, you are able to tow successfully, especially with the all-wheel drive, 5,000 pounds. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2026 Lexus TX 350 F-Sport with the handling package. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm glad you're doing this review because I'm thinking about getting an Acura MDX, but I also like this Lexus TX. I just need to learn more. I just need to watch your reviews more than what I'm already watching now. And listen, I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate you tuning in, and I'm here to help. But first, I got to drop the price. I know you're probably saying, Joe, how much is it? Say it. Don't spray it. That's what my dad used to say to me sometimes when I was talking to him and like spit would come out of my mouth. He'd say, I don't mind the wind, but the rain, that's where I'm bothered. But anyways, this particular one, the way it's optioned, F-Sport handling package, you have an MSRP of $72,000. Let's see what Lexus brings to make you happy. To the door panels. Very simple, but very clean. All soft touch material. You got a 21 speaker Mark Levinson premium sound system. No gloss black. Nice contrast stitching. And then down below, get yourself ready for Oktoberfest. Get your bratwurst. Get your Wiener Schnitzel and stuff it in there with a nice large bottle of root beer to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch. I do like this metallic gunmetal gray finish, some of that Alcantara. On the side here, you could put one of two things. This is what they call the potassium box holder. You could put a banana or two, or if you're not into bananas, you could put a head of broccoli, because guess what? Broccoli is another area, another piece of produce that you could actually get potassium from. So it's up to you. What am I pointing at? Check it out. That is that large and in charge infotainment system, 14-inch. It's the same multimedia software as every other Lexus that we've shown you that's brand new. So it does get a little bit of redundancy because it's the same system, but it's full touchscreen. I could throw it into reverse. You got beautiful cameras. The camera resolution is fantastic in this thing. And like I said, it's all touchscreen. Of course, you bring up the tunes. Let me make sure this isn't going to blast and then I get zonked. Yeah, Bananarama. Love Bananarama. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Saved it. Saved the video from getting zonked on YouTube. But nice to have all that flexibility. You got 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, 2 stages of a heated steering wheel. I could bring up you like little icons. You could turn on and off all your different safety features, go into your different drive modes, which is nice. Dual climate, you just, nice clean rotation there. Real volume knob. That's where your start stop button is for firing up this TX. And watch this, I could slide. Nice. Lori's really liking I'm showing more stuff than I've ever shown, especially in the mode. We're going sport, baby. Work our way down. AC vents, 3 USB-Cs. If 2 aren't enough, 3 USB-Cs. You hit this, and you got that sit and spin camera, so you could search and make sure nobody is going to hurt you getting out of your TX. And then down below, you'll notice I have my phone on the wireless charger. Let's see what my wallpaper is. Ah! I had it perfect. There they are. Frankie and Oscar. I love those two. Watch this, though. You want to see a magic trick? Abracadabra, alakazam, 1, 2, 3. Wow. You got a secret compartment for your cigarette, and you have, of course, your 12-volt. And then you do that, and it looks like there's no compartment even there. 2 cup holders. They are removable, so you can actually take them out and then put a small loaf of bread or Entenmann's bun cake. Just drop it in there and just pick away at it like a vulture. This is your electric shifter for your 8-speed automatic. And then you got soft touch, open door number 1, open door number 2. Plenty of, look how far my arm goes in there. I thought I was going to lose my freaking arm. Felt lining. You could put a little tiara in there. You know, maybe you were one of those people that were special enough in school to where you were the homecoming queen or you were the prom queen and you still have your tiara. You could keep it in there and you could put it on whenever you want and it won't get scratched. Good for you. Seats, the nice soft touch material. I love the F-Sport badge there in the headrest. Really well done on the F-Sport seats with the bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, the driver, and you have that panoramic sunroof. Look at that. Slip and slide with that nice sunshade. There we go. Easy peasy. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you behind the wheel in this TX350 F-Sport handling package. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your memory seat settings, 3 memory seat settings. Love the F-Sport aluminum sill plate. Illuminates at night. It's aluminum and it illuminates. Pedal box. This is what I'm talking about. Aluminum dead pedal, aluminum brake, and aluminum throttle. If you're wondering what's the blue stuff on there, that's the condom wrapper to protect the dead pedal because it is aluminum. TX embroidery, that's worth an extra 5 horsepower on the floor mats. And you got all your seat controls, easy to get to. Enough cushion for the pushing. And what's great is that you push your body against the side bolstering in the F-Sport seats, because these seats are specific to the F-Sport. There's some nice bolstering there. I'm 6 feet tall. If you need more room, I guess you're going to be buying a Lexus LX or a GX, because this is actually a lot of room. Steering wheel, love the way they used the two different types of leather, the perforated, the smooth, flat black on the switchgear. I wish they would give me a real leather horn button though. This is a cop-out, this is fake. But you do get an F-Sport badge. Paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. It is electric tilting and telescoping. And then you got that beautiful digital gauge cluster that watch. Right now, I am in, what mode? I don't know. I forgot what mode I'm in. I'm actually gonna change the modes. So we're gonna come over here. Right now I'm in Eco. Boring. You go Sport, look at what you got going on there, Sport. The tach is across the top there. So after I bump the camera and frustrate Latte Lori, you can see the tachometer across the top there, and you can switch through a cornucopia of information and make your adjustments. I do have to admit, that is a zonk that I have to go into the screen. Let me see, do I have to go on the screen? Oh no, thank God. Yeah, I have to go on the screen, because this just turns on some off-road mode with a tree. It literally has a tree. Look on the left-hand side. It's got a freaking Christmas tree and a green car. Interesting. Now we're back to the boring. Why can't they just have a mode selector knob? Is it that difficult? Everything's got to be on the screen? Well, why don't we go ahead? Let's get in the mid row and the third row. See if there's enough room for your passengers in this TX. All right, guys, mid row time. Love the way they did a nice material on the seats. The problem is the rear seats don't have any bolstering whatsoever. So while you're going through the twisty bits and you're held in place, your rear seat passengers are gonna be sliding all over the place. The other thing I can't stand is how skinny the captain's chair armrest is. That's still a zonk. Why can't they make that larger? Backs of the seats, I do like all the soft touch material. You got large pockets. Put 2 Annie Ann's pretzels in there. If you're gonna go to Oktoberfest, you gotta have a big German pretzel and that Wiener Schnitzel right in your mouth. You do have your command center here. Thank you. Ventilated seats and heated seats. Lexus, they did it. They did it. 2 USB-Cs, and this is an official Pop-Tart holder. You actually slide your packages of Pop-Tarts in there, and you just pick and choose. Let me know in the comment section, what's your favorite flavor of a Pop-Tart? Mine is the strawberry, the frosted, maybe with like a little bit of sprinkles in there, just so I feel fun. You do have manual sunshades, which is great. Oh, reclining seats. Do they slide? This is I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say it. So you have the sliding seats. There we go. Got a nice little command center here for your snacks. Maybe some nachos, some dip, ooh, guacamole. The good news is you can remove this. So you can have the guacamole, the salts, and the chips and give this to somebody. And then watch my finger. You wanna pull it? Hit that. Nice electric assist, getting that out of the way. Let me move up this seat so Lori's able to show off all the goods of the back seat. Ugh. Normally you're not supposed to do this, but I'm doing it. That goes in the back. Look at this. This is impressive. My knees are low. I'm not in a full size. I got USB-Cs and these nice handles, but wait, there's more. Power recline. Even more room. And you got this little Skittles holder. I can sit back here. AC vents. It's one of those things, you know, people usually try to hurt one another on who's not sitting in the third row. This third row, I'll be more than happy to sit in. Feels great. But let's get in that cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin in this TX. All right, guys, cargo area time. X marks the spot. You got the Lexus name. You reach underneath here. That's the old-fashioned way. Obviously, you could also shake your leg underneath the rear bumper with the key fob in your pocket. What you're going to be greeted to is actually quite a bit of room, 20 cubic feet of space. I went ahead and showed you some of the accessories that can be added, like the cargo net. This is official Lexus cargo net, not from Home Depot. You do have your Cargo Logic tote, specifically made for Lexus, and this nice Lexus emergency assistant kit and travel bag. All yours. Without that, though, you still got to have something else. the official Lexus first aid kit. It does have Band-Aids with the Lexus badge on it. You have your switch gear on the driver's side. That's gonna put down this third row. So we're gonna go from 20 cubic feet of space, and we're gonna go enlarge that. How are we gonna enlarge it? By folding down the rear seats. Does take a little bit of time, but hey, you can't rush perfection, right? Now you're looking at 57 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row, you're looking at 97 cubic feet of space. Now, let me show you, here's another accessory I showed you before. This is gonna be your Skittles holder. You can fill that up with Skittles. You have your USB-C, like I pointed out, on that handle. And even the touches, you see the nice soft touch here with the stitching? That's on the third row. You don't see that in an Acura MDX. You don't even see that in some BMWs and Audis. So there you go. But nice to have all this usable room, all this usable space, and a third row where you could literally put grown adults, not just small people. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. We're locked and loaded. Let's go for a little spin in this TX 350 F Sport. All right, guys, we are inside this 2026 Lexus TX 350 F Sport with the handling package. No, I don't want to talk to the assistant. I want to talk to you. Being behind the wheel, seats are superb, comfortable, supportive, and like I said, they got a decent amount of bolstering for a mid-size crossover SUV. It's gonna be close though, because between this and the Acura MDX, especially the A-Spec, has some really nicely done seats as well. Getting to the 14-inch infotainment system is well within reach. And then if you want to change modes, you got to go into the screen. We're going to go full sport mode. That changes up the dash. I need to shut off this pesky auto start stop feature. There we go. Got that taken care of. Going to close that. Very intuitive, very fast reacting, which is good. And then being behind the wheel, it feels like a smaller crossover. And what I mean by that is it doesn't feel so big when you're behind the wheel. You got great visibility. The A-pillars are pulled far apart. Love the way you see that nice sort of plateau of the hood. It gives you a good visual reference point for when you're parking or when you're navigating tight streets. And the dash is really, really simply set up in a good way. The one thing I'm surprised that this does not have is a head-up display. I'm a little shocked at $72,000 that there's no head-up display. But the materials, I think they feel great. I know that there's some people who think that Lexus has downgraded some of their finishes, but still feels good in here. Obviously, Lexuses are built phenomenal when it comes to their structural rigidity. There's not a bunch of creaks. There's not a bunch of wind noise and road noise, which is good. You got your secret storage spot in the center console, and your passenger's gonna love you for buying one of these because the mid row and third row puts the Acura MDX and a lot of the BMW, Mercedes, and Audi competition to shame, to absolute shame. Now with the handling package, you do have adaptive suspension, all four corners, and that's gonna give you that extra sportiness, that extra engagement for when you are behind the wheel. All right, guys, pulling away from this light. Depending on what mode you're in is going to adjust the suspension, the steering sensitivity, throttle sensitivity. There is no getting around that there's a 4-cylinder turbo underneath the hood. You could hear it. The good news is, though, it is a peppy power plant, and with the all-wheel drive, it gets the power to the ground very, very effectively. On throttle, here we go. There is sound that is pumped through the Mark Levinson sound system. It's a little over the top for me, but really nothing different than what BMW is doing and all the other brands. So, I mean, it sounds a little too fake, but let's do it. On throttle, here we go. really handles well. No shocker, right? Because it is the TX 350 F-Sport with the handling package, but you're not getting a lot of body roll, but you're still getting, even in sport mode, you're still getting a very comfortable ride. Now, you could feel the difference between the different modes when it comes to that ride quality, which is important because you want it to have that different overall feel. But no matter what mode you're in, I'm not noticing a ton of body roll, which is nice. You do have paddles behind the wheel to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. But the all-wheel drive works very, very well. And the 2.4-liter turbo, say whatever you want about it, but when it's paired with the 8-speed automatic, they do jive very well together. It's like a really awesome peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Not all peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are awesome, just saying. But the shifts are nice and smooth, very precise. On throttle, here we go. But you can hear that pumped in sound trying to mask the 4-cylinder sound. Obviously, the torque delivery is not nearly as linear as what you're gonna get in an Acura MDX because of the naturally aspirated V6. But you are getting better fuel economy, so. And it still pumps out plenty of power. I mean, you're able to tow up to 5,000 pounds with this vehicle. But really where everybody wins, including the people sitting up front, the driver and the passenger up front, is interior space. I mean, the amount of room that's in here is really fantastic. But just a very comfortable, very quiet environment to be sitting in. And these seats are just rock stars. I love the seats that they put in these F-Sports. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of this particular 2026 TX. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, always a great day here at Lexus of Clearwater. Definitely gotta thank the whole team, especially Tyler, Anthony, and Preston, getting us access to this 2026 TX 350 F-Sport with the handling package. Let me know what you think. Going up against cars, or I should say SUVs like the Acura MDX, is this the must-own when you're looking at competition like that? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rides family. Got to give it to Latte Lori. You know, she is always down to film Lexus vehicles, really any type of vehicle, but she really does like the Lexus vehicles. So thank you, Latte Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.